We could start from your journey in Pakistan and then later on in the US. So, in terms of your experience in Pakistan, did you grow up in Pakistan or was it more like you grew up in the US?
Yes, of course, I was born in Karachi, Pakistan. I was there for about 16 years, and then my journey started in 1983 and 84. I came to the US.
Okay. And how was your experiences in, I guess, the transition from Pakistan to the US? I'm assuming it wasn't easy, or was it actually easy because you had the background and knowledge?
Oh, absolutely not. See, I am from a middle class family. My father was he was inspector in a police, and he was one of those guys who would not accept any bribe. And once he told me that, son, I could make this Pakistan America for you, but I'm not going to because the so many reasons that I will not take any extra money, bribes, or anything on that. And so we had an opportunity to come to US. And in 1982, he came to US first. And then he asked me to join. I was 16 and I came. And when I came, it was pretty shocked. As you can imagine, limited knowledge, very limited, broken English, basically. Came to a US where everything was just wow. So it was a big culture shock for me, definitely.
Okay. And what was the greatest challenge you faced other than, like you mentioned, maybe the language barrier was there, but was there any other challenges you faced or?
As we brought up in such a conservative society where religion is your number one priority and the family is the second priority on that. So having said that, those were the two challenges when you came. You do not have the both of the support, I would want to say, on the religious side and the family side. Even though I have a small family members here, they supported me, but it was not like back home. So that was the transition for adjustment was about good 2 to 3 years for me before I became, I would say, comfortable
Yeah.
in the culture. Because right away I went to the high school, and this is exactly where I have seen what I've saw in the movies. That wow, it is real when you sit in the class and people are just making jokes and doing all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And we, as a student from Pakistan, who are just obedient, just sitting and bowing our head and not showing any emotions. And here in the US, it's totally opposite. So that
Right.
was a shock for me as well.
You must have seen quite a bit from the 90s to 2000s and so on. That entire, did you see the major shift that happened throughout the periods?
Yeah, Azam, you can imagine I've lived my life in the mid to late 70s and early
Yeah.
80s
Mhm.
in Karachi. That exposure was there a little bit. When I came here, the exposure was phenomenal. From 80s to 90s to 2000 and now,
Yeah.
it's just unbelievable. I think our generation is one of the luckiest generation at this time where we have seen change so much where you have seen the phone of the cradle phone, the dialing to
Yep.
cell phone. For example, I make a joke of it on that, saying when our generation, we say, hey, let me call you. And the newer generation, they say, let me call you. So
Yeah.
it's a big difference on that.